grown as a player since then?
Oh, he's grown a lot. You know, he's a hard-working player. You know, they say he's the first one in the gym and the first one to work out. So he's got a lot better since I first met him. But you know, he was a guy that's a versatile human that can step out and shoot and also drive the basket.
When you look at West Virginia, do you guys see somewhat of a similarity between you guys and them in terms of how physical they play?
Yeah, they're a pretty physical team. Like, we know it's going to be a battle. You know, they're a great team of offensive rebound. I think the team is going to get the most defensive stops and when the rebound battle come in the game.
Tell me why this is going to be your toughest game
because they don't play like us, but you know, they run the shot clock down. They don't break their stuff, and if you stop anything short, they can hit you with a backdoor. And they got guys that can create one-on-one. Like I said, they all hit the offensive glass.
How did you prepare you for this
I prepared us well. You know, we knew coming to the game we got to be physical with those guys. You know, they used to people backing off on me. They come off screens and get easy shots. So, you know, again, we just want to be physical and make the game tough. And get them out that comfortable.
Tell me about the relationship you have with this team. What makes things fun and easy for you?
Because, you know, like I said, we all had to come together. You know, our team was all brand new. The coaching staff was brand new. We all had to learn. You know, Coach did a great job of watching us show the Remember the Titans movie and having us dinners together. You know, we just combined together and said, if you want to do something special, you got to come together. You can't do it by yourself. Right? We just got each other's back.
You realize you're doing something special.
Yes, ma'am. We don't want to stop here, but we know we're doing something special.
Do you guys talk about the fact that you're one game away from the Final Four? I mean, is that exciting to everybody?
Yeah, that was the key. You know, last week we played great like the first two games. You know, coming in this week, Coach said we don't want y'all to fall back and not play like y'all did the first two rounds. So we know it's one game. We go home. You know, none of us want to end our season short. You know, a lot of people came back, and a lot of people came in. You know, really wanted to get Patrick to his first NCAA tournament. You know, help the seniors out, and we're doing a great job of that. You know. We got a chance to win the championship. Why not try to do it this year?
John, if Patrick, who was a returning star, if he hadn't accepted you guys, this thing could have blown up. What about him do you think allowed him to go?
Patrick's a great person. He's a great person to have as a teammate. You know, he accepted the role that I had so much hype coming into, and all my other fellow freshmen had hype coming in. And, he didn't try to say this my team, give me the ball all day. He just showed us a guidance and helped us get through it. And, even though we all had great success this season, he'd rather have his teammates have success and him just play okay. That's the type of person Patrick is, and it helped our team out a lot.
Did you worry about that at all? Because he was such a big star.
No, I didn't worry about it. He came back for a reason. Him and Coach had their talking. He knew the expectations were coming in and what kind of chance we had as a team and what we had to do. So he listened to what Coach said and he came back.
Have you been surprised at how well this team has gotten along? I mean, with 6, 7 new guys and then 6 or 7 returning, were you surprised at all, or is it what you expected?
No, I wasn't surprised. The 7 guys that came back, I thought it was going to be a little tough for those guys that started when they come first couple of years in. But some guys that didn't play as much. It was all new to all of us. So, we all had to get new to it. And like people said at the beginning, me and Ed wasn't going to work out. Like I said, we first got together, we came like brothers. And I already knew how DeMarcus was, and it was just basically had to just combine together and get your chemistry down pat.
Can you talk about Ramon and Perry? They started basically all for 2 years. How have they been in a lesser role this year?
They're doing a great job. They don't have the biggest role like they had last year, starting and playing max amount of minutes. But they come in and giving us key minutes. Ramon helps us on the glass, and he's like one of our best defensive person on the ball. And Perry's coming in and giving Patrick enough minutes to rest, and he's doing a great job of scoring and playing defense for us.
John, if you had to handicap this game, if you were a TD analyst, what would you say about this game if you're on TV right now in terms of what do you expect is going to happen?
Well, it's going to be a physical game. It's going to be a real physical game. They're going to try to slow it down. They're a great half-court team, just like Cornell. They like to run their sets. And, we basically just got to get them out their comfort zone. Try to get to our pace, and that's up and down.